such an asshole.
So it's story time with Uncle Cappy. Gather around, kids. Uncle Cappy is going to tell you a story from the before time, specifically the analog days. As you know, before the interwebs, wisdom or knowledge was gathered through elders or common sense or conventional wisdom. And it was also influenced through media, obviously, very much so. It was formed, if not even led by media, like, oh, isn't this edgy and cool? And I distinctly remember actually the lack of anything else. That was the interesting thing, where we had been given such tunnel vision. The idea of a different life, entrepreneurship, or just a different way of thinking as it pertained to what you're going to do in your life, it wasn't there. And I don't know if it was because of corporate America after World War II and we got to get back and rebuild the world society, and then boomers just carried that on or whatever. But it was, you will all go to college. You will all go work a job. And the foremost, utmost thing was your career. And not so much because that's all there. Not because, how do I want to put it? Not because out of all the world had to offer, was that the best option? It was more or less that that's all there is. What else would you do? And I certainly think my generation, Gen X, maybe some of you millennials too, divorce was so rampant, so rampant. The idea of family was just not like, who would do that? And you're always on your back burner, where coming from broken homes, divorced families, and all that. Not only did that put a distaste in your mouth for marriage and family, and thus you never really thought about it. You came from a broken home, chances are you were at a financial disadvantage. And so it really just put a laser focus on career, and by consequence, the education that you would get to have that. Then you throw in the cultural stuff like Wall Street and like the 80s movies where all the cool kids go to California, buddy cop shows, that kind of thing, Hollywood, that kind of stuff. And you really were channeled into like the way I'm going to make all happiness, all success, all stability, especially, will come from me working at corporate America. And the pinnacle thing would be a corner office. And that's the diet we were fed. That's all. And that's what our environment kind of with a laser point focused us on to be. But as time has gone on, especially with the advent of the internet, and especially with what my generation and some of you guys have gone through, we're starting to realize that, one, there's more to life than just work. And two, that we were lied to about many things, starting with education and how careers should work. But also the lack of meritocracy, let alone just simple sanity that existed or just simply lacked existing in corporate America, has made it simply untenable. It has completely destroyed the veneer, the promises, and the reputation of corporate America. So much so now the internet and other things have made it that corporate America is no one really views corporate America as a life raft or a viable option to having a good life. They now view it as a risk, a danger, and a losing proposition. And people like what's his name, Josh Fluke. I love Josh Fluke. He does tremendous work. You guys are lucky to have him within your millennial ranks. There might be 2 or 3 other people worth a damn in your ranks, but he's one of them. And exposing just the abuse. It's all it is. Psychopathic, arrogant, egotistical, boomer boss, Gen X boss too, abuse. And this attitude that they got. And I'm glad, I'm happy to see this, what do we want to call it? Not not pillar institution, because that indicates something productive for society. This lie, this large corrupt institution finally get destroyed to the point that no one wants to be part of that anymore with the Great Resignation, or people are at least more street smart. Like, no, I'm not doing that. People dropping out of college, especially the boys are dropping out of college. And to see it go from like great, it's like watching, like there were always popular kids at school, but some were nice. Some were nice. And you hope good things happen to them. But the arrogant, cocky people, those popular kids, now it's like watching them get fat. Now it's like watching them go to jail. Now it's like watching them get divorced and have kids they can't afford. And so what I want to point out to younger people, and for those of you who are alive, maybe we're ruining the nightmare you went through with corporate America, that for whatever last vestiges, last gasps at trying to be relevant anymore, I want to point out how the party is over for corporate America. Corporate America, or corporate work all over the globe, I'm sure Europe, going in there with power suits and standing arms akimbo, and we're business leaders. It's over. The party's over. And it's never coming back. There was never that much of a party to begin with. I want so that you don't waste your time, your lives, and your hope. Like, well, maybe I can make it in corporate America, because now look at it. Look at. Does anyone want to work on Wall Street? That was the big thing. Oh, you get to work on Wall Street. Would I, boomer? Would I get to live in a place where people crap in the streets and then go work 120 hours a week and make pittance of money and then have all the promotions? Go to the blue blood cocksuckers out of Connecticut? Ooh, can I do that too? And it has fallen so far. Silicon Valley more recently, that was in the 90s, people, let's go to Silicon Valley instead. That's where we want to go. And even there, you're kind of like, no, I don't want to live in crap San Francisco. I don't want to live where people poop in the streets. I don't want to live where they could just steal things. I don't want to live and pay these overpriced things. No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not. And that's even more rare. That's lost its allure. In California, even though not corporate, remember when wish we could all be California girls and they're pretty? Who goes to California is a joke. Who lives there now? And so I want to kind of point out, because they're still trying to market it. They're still trying to remain relevant. They're still trying to come on and work for a Fortune 500 company. So let me lay down the law and explain kind of how things have changed. So going forward, you're not missing out on anything. And then maybe if these corporate cocksuckers want to start hiring people, they have to change the game. All right. So first thing, Josh Fluke is great at this. It was like 5 or 6 things I came up with to kind of open your eyes. The internet has exposed boomer boss abuse, and that's what it is. When I was young, I didn't know I thought there was always something wrong with me. Because they always said, oh, your boss knows everything. You pay attention. They're your elders. You need to respect them. It took me forever it took me until the housing bubble started bursting, and that FBI agent, they're like, oh, stop working on that. The FBI is here. Oh, really? It took me that long to figure out that old people don't know crap. It took me that long to realize that boomers are lying to me. All the bait and switch, they give you a job title, analyst. All you're doing is filing and faxing. Oh, we need bachelor's required, master's preferred. And you get there and you have you picked it up on the playground in school, comment etiquette, right and wrong, ethical treatment and behaviors, and you get to corporate America and you're just getting screwed over. You're like, well, I don't understand. Unpaid internship, okay. Well, you could get away with that in an analog world for a while. And you're gonna, oh no, there was no Yelp, there was no Glassdoor reviews. Now, that's over. And the boomers kind of bit themselves in the ass on this, because they raised generations of lazy kids that didn't want to work. So they have they're not tolerating crap like Gen X would. We're like, we need to eat food. We need to find clothing and shelter. We need a job. So I don't know, your younger children, the youngest are so bad. Don't get me started about how us eldest had it the toughest, which we all did. Shut up. No, your different opinion is wrong. But you send in these kids like, nah, I'm not going to. But now it's on full display. Guys, you shouldn't go. Before you even think about working in corporate America, you go binge on Josh Fluke. Go watch him. There's still remnants. I don't know why my generation wants to be like the boomer bosses, because they're finally, not my generation, but the boomer bosses are finally dying or being shipped off to nursing homes to get out of there. But man, there's a cadre of Gen X bosses that want to just be weapons grade dicks too. But you go look at employer abuse. I could tell you stories, especially during the .com, megalomaniac psychopaths, just like, why are you working 80 hours a week? Like, because I want a life. They were abusive. They were liars. And the internet is at least exposing that. And I'm thinking like, maybe some lawsuits. Maybe you look like, this is the job description, right? How come I'm not doing the job description? Stuff like that. And then just blaming, the ego protection of these pathetic bosses, where they can't be wrong because they're poor managers and they just started a dumb company or something. Nope, it's the underlings. And so I think that internet has exposed just what a mentally ill environment working in most of corporate America is. And by the way, is it really that bad? Hey, have you walked around? Have you seen the average person in the United States? It's not like there's this group of more mature, more responsible, hardworking Americans. It's not like this lost tribe of people who got their crap together. No, not only the lower ranks do we choose from the same labor pool or labor sewer of untalented, psychopathic, mentally ill Americans, we choose it for all the ranks, all the positions, all the way from mailroom guy up to corporate executives, especially your senior mid-level managers. They know how to suck dick real good just to get ahead, but have no skills or ability. And there's your environment. And it's not changing. It's endemic to corporate culture. That's how you get ahead in corporate culture. But at least the internet shows, like, do you want to go work in Arkham Asylum? Because that's where you're going. Another thing, the disease. All right, the disease sent us all home and proved something that we knew for 25 years previous, us Gen Xers, the superior Gen X race here in the United States, that all the boomer bosses didn't want. And that is, we didn't have to go and commute. We didn't have to pay for parking. We didn't have to hoof it 5 blocks in below freezing weather to go from the cheap parking lot to the office. We didn't have to pay, $15 for a sandwich downtown to where all the action is. It proved like, no. Not only do we not have to commute, we're not going to. Now, a lot of that had to do with stimmy checks. We're like, nah, maybe rethink my life. Nah, I'm not coming in. Not coming in. And that kind of took away one of the other BS fringe benefits corporate America. Because think about a party, okay? It's all aesthetics. It's not like really like, there are hot chicks there that are loose and going to have sex with me. That's ultimately the goal. But there's all this other stuff that go, look, we got loud lights. We got loud music. Look at that. We got one of those crazy CD towers in the 90s. Look how edgy and cool we are. And corporate America had the thing go downtown, which compared to a field, yeah, there's something there. There's architecture. At least in the olden days, there was beautiful architecture. There was a lot of people there. It was kind of sort of like a nightclub. I remember the days working downtowns. There were girls in pencil skirts. Coach Greg Adams, go someone tell. He's right about those girls in pencil skirts. No, you boys don't know pencil skirts. Hell yeah. When he said that, I'm like, hell yeah, pencil skirts. He knows what he's talking about. Oh, it was great. I mean, in that regard, it was. But it wasn't worth the commute. It wasn't worth the paltry pay they paid you that you had to commute an hour and a half because that's all you could afford in rent. It wasn't worth it. Certainly. And for those of you who are married and it caused extra stress and you never got to see your kids, absolutely not worth it. And so that's another big leg knocked out from this party. Like, we don't have to go down. Why would we go there? all the downtown action, that lasts about a month, a hot month. You're like, this sucks. You're like, oh, was I going to meet girls downtown? No, you weren't. Trust me, I tried. I asked a lot of girls out. I'm like, hey, you want to get lunch? You're cute. Want to get lunch? Simple. Oh, they were all downtown. Like, hey, you cute. Want to get? I'm getting lunch already with my girlfriend. Okay, someday I'll be a world famous economist who writes books and makes money working from home in my pajamas. Then you'll regret that day. I'll be squarely middle income by that time. With a used truck, you'll see. Yeah, pencil skirts. So that is gone. The lure. Do you guys really want to work downtown? Do you want to work on Wall Street? Have you guys been to Lower Manhattan? Holy, dealing with parking, Batman. In San Francisco, I think people work in Silicon Valley. Nobody works downtown San Francisco anymore. Minneapolis, do you want your car burned and broken into? What? It's gone. That's gone, man. And so it sent us all home. And then in association with eliminating the commute and knocking out the veneer of downtown where all the action is, it also says, wait a minute, I could do this from home? It means I could do other stuff from home, part of the 1099 superior race. And what that really showed people is that they didn't need to be working 8 hours a day at the office. They could get all the work done in 2 to 3 hours a day. If the boss just left us the F alone, got the hell out, and let's get to our work, we'd get it done. And I know more than one person now who's taken on more than one job, 2 full-time jobs. Another guy's got 3 full-time jobs. They're making bank. You know why they can do it? Because they can. They get their job done. It's delivered, and there ain't no boomer boss. You're working on somebody else's project? Whoa! You're going to limit my potential income to a third of what it could be because you're uncomfortable with me working for multiple bosses? F you. And so it's kind of opened people's eyes like, wait, I can do something on the side. I can work from home. I, too, can wear a crappy green shirt and wear my Auschwitz pajamas and do things on interwebs. You know, Elkins, the Elkins Accounting Hour, by the way, subscribe. It's a big jump for him going from like Maine. He was working for one of the big 4, just working on his own. Now he's like, screw that. Once they pushed him far enough, like, nope, I'm gonna do a little bit on the side. Like, hey, his side action, it's kind of like marriage. The side action is more exciting than the main plate. You know, that's why mistress sounds better than wife. And until you wives change that reputation, oh, my wife is hot. When wives start getting hotter reputation than mistress, but self-employment is just more fun. It's hotter. Side action, way more lucrative, way more free. And that it took a disease, took a global pandemic, but not only to open our eyes about not having to commute anymore, but the prospects of self-employment. This is huge. And this just shows you the nerds now are the corporate party. It's like, ooh, originally the cool people are there. And after the cool people pair off and go off and do something else, then all that's left is the nerds left at the party. And that is your woke politics. I'll explain this very, very quickly. Gen X, for all of our edgy reputation, we're just as stupid and lazy as the boomers. Who do you think brought and force-fed diversity into corporate America and everywhere else? That's Gen X. And your business leaders in Gen X are so stupid and void of original ideas. I don't know. Have you seen Hollywood too? Who do you think's in charge of Hollywood? It ain't boomers no more. It's Gen X. Have you seen an original movie? No, you haven't. Why? Gen X has nothing original. Nothing. And the only thing they got, the only new management technique that's edgy is identity politics, traitism. We're going to sell to people based on traits they were born with. Oh, that's great. And we're going to, in some cases, like the Gillette commercial, go look it up, Gen X corporate management, we're going to say that group of people is bad. We're going to, usually you could like on a pot, like take for example, Gay Pride Month, where you advertise positively to people who aren't straight. All right. That makes sense. Now you're going to start people like, I see what you're doing. That's hypocritical. But that's positive. Like, hey, we're proud you're gay. All right. Gillette, You're bad. Men suck. We hate men. We're misandrous. We're genuine sexist. We hate men. That's Gen X. And instead of putting the work in to come with some new idea, I don't know, higher quality products at lower prices with funny, edgy marketing like Mock from Zebra Corner, instead of that, no, we're going to go after white males. We're going to go after men. You're bad. Well, now that's not just their marketing, that's their entire corporate culture. That's taken over. Like traits, identity politics has now replaced, I don't know, working hard and for whatever meritocracy you might complain, at least it was universal. Like if I work harder, in theory, I would get promoted more and make more money. And now that's gone, man. And it is here. You want to see a joke? Here's a funny joke. Go look up Target's diversity and inclusion coordinator or chief or head or whatever it is. It's a mutated human gone completely wrong. That person is probably the most powerful person in all of Target Corporation. Because the main zeitgeist, the main cool hip thing to do is to do identity marketing, identity politics marketing. And now if you want to go work, already corporate America was already not meritocratic because of cocksucking and corporate politics and nepotism. Those are the main ones. Now, it is Arkham Asylum. It's a zoo where everyone is promoted based on how they were born or what they generally believe, who they're attracted to. And I've talked about how that just makes that position untenable. But also look at it this way. It's the nerds. Do you want to be part of that? But have you seen SJWs? Do they look like you want to bang them? Can you see an SJW wearing a pencil skirt? No, you can't. Do you want to go to a corporate party? At least Christmas parties back in the 80s, you could get laid. All right? And girls wore the pencil skirts and the heels. Now, who wants to go to a corporate party? What? Who wants to go after the purple haired and everyone's trying to be as woke as the next person? Forget it. Forget it. And all that's done is drive away the real working men and women that what few exist in the country here. Where if you're not going to get promoted based on hard work, which everybody controls, but instead, oh, well, we know you put in that time, but we're going to promote whatever, Shaniqua over Bob because she's female and black. Gone. It's one reason. Oh, by the way, okay, right here, guys, right here. Here's to the big four. You're all horrifically racist and sexist against males and whites, okay? Which is the good kind. I know that's diversity and inclusion. That's the main reason Chad left, because you were promoting people based on by the color of their skin and not their content of character. And when you get to that, holy psychopathic bosses, Batman. Like, what? At least there was a logic. Well, we got to be efficient. We got to produce more widgets. We got to work overtime. We got to increase the quality of our manufacturing procedures. Now it's like, do you have a vagina? Oh my goodness, let's have a meeting time to satisfy Karen and HR with her degree in diversity and inclusion and take everyone off the line. No. That's like when the party switches from drinking competitions to let's do board games. And I'll give you one final example on this. This happened in swing quite some time ago, swing dancing community. It used to be hot. It used to be hot chicks. It used to be great. You'd get laid. It was a good old time. Girls always wanted to go dancing. Then, and this is quite some time ago, I was like 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago. I was in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'm going to see if there's any swing dancing. There was a swing dancing thing. And it had something like, there was a rainbow flag. I'm like, that's odd. And then something like code of conduct. That's what it was. The Knoxville Swing Dance Association, KSA, Knoxville Swing. So you click on it, and it's all this, a girl saying yes to a dance doesn't mean she's agreeing to have sex. What? And dude, it just got taken over by the SJWs. So then I click on the pictures of their dances, and there's no normal looking people. No normal looking people at all. Then I went to another dance hosted by a colleague of mine. I won't mention where. And I showed up, and it's all the rejects. All the Fame kids. You remember the TV show Fame that's going? It was all the rejects, all the theater kids, all the vegan and pacifist kids, all the kids who wore trench coats back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, they're modern day equivalents where you're just the girls. There was not one. Oh, and it stank. Imagine a Dungeons and Dragons or a Comic-Con, NerdCon thing today, not in the olden days when people showered or bathed. Today, where they had to put out a thing like, "Hey, you got to use deodorant." Nope, patchouli and body odor. That's corporate America now. This arms akimbo things with everyone wearing black. Oh yeah, we're masters of the universe. Mm-mm. It's the reject club. It's the nerd. Everyone who is good and got laid has gone home. They're having sex, being self-employed, part of the 1099 superior race. The people that are left in corporate America are your SJW rejects. Oh, they might have a corporate suit on. Oh, they might, but are they more? Is it more about, well, hey, we got to roll out a new internet email security system? Or is it more like, we're going to have diversity and inclusion training. Now it's optional, but we really prefer if you take it. Like, I got to work on this thing. And that's the, like, if the training if the politics, the woke politics starts to take away from you doing your job, get out. Get out. Let the nerds have their party. The future is not corporate America. It's 1099 and remote work. Another thing you see this, speaking of jokes that have lost their allure and luster, college. College just became too expensive. And it also got exposed as a joke to men. Girls saw the exact same data. Get my book, How Not to Become a Millennial. It's there. The data and the proof was there that college was an entire waste of time. Corporate America's delusional educational requirements for entry-level positions also got exposed. And then when you would go to college, you did everything your parents said and the teacher said and the professor said, and you got a master's degree and you still didn't get a job. You realize that college did become a joke. And now men are infinitely more proud. I'm sorry, girls. It's just true. Until I see behavior changing, it's just true. Men are dropping out of college and they're like, oh my God, the crisis of boys. No, they're the ones that are getting ahead. They're going into the trades, or they're just not pissing away their money. They're at minimum not going into debt. Oh, what a loser. He lives at home and works part-time. So by the time he's 22, he won't have $250,000 in debt and a jokingly worthless degree. But in order to get into corporate America, even to this day, you got Karen in HR, bachelor's required, master's preferred. And guys like, nope, done. People who are more practical, including some women, it's not all, but if you look at attendance, women are still going there because they believe education is the future to success, or whatever they told you. But the boys are dropping out. I think there's hints. Girls are waking up to the fraud that higher education is. Or maybe you're starting to realize, well, no, I should go into accounting or engineering or something. Did you learn a lesson from the millennials? No. I looked up the data. People are still going to college. But even college was supposed to be the panacea. It was supposed to be remember the 80s again? All the cool people in California, Wall Street, how many college party movies were made? Oh, that's done. The veneer of colleges, and that's the feeder tube to corporate America. And that's, we can't find enough college educated. Oh, the labor shortage, huh? That labor shortage thing. You can't find enough people with degrees they don't need. God, heaven help you don't bring back training programs where some innocent kid at 18 years old after 3 weeks could do the job. And I'll tell you this, out of all the jobs I've had, not once did any single, economist, no joke economist, not one required anything beyond 9th grade math. Not a single one. Here I am. Why'd I go beyond the 9th grade? Wouldn't it have been better that I just start working as an economist in the 9th grade, or at least do the math part of it for you? Back when my skills were fresh. Now I'm a little rusty on some things. But the guys are waking up to realize this is BS. I'm not doing it. And here in corporate America, just makes it impossible. So the only people really could get in are rich assholes, or people get so much scholarship money, but they still graduate with a joke of a degree. And we don't have the degree, we don't have the skills. Well, we can't find people. Hey, lower your stand. And they're doing it now. They're finally doing it now, where they're like, oh, we'll train. Okay, we won't require you to go to school for 6 years after 13 years of K through 12. Maybe we'll just train you. Oh. But college became so expensive, it became a hurdle to employment. Where again, I'm okay, you're neat dwelling at home. I can't blame you. You're financially ahead of someone getting their master's degree. I mean, what? Also, this is a big one, if not one of the biggest ones. What incentive do men have to work and go be the corporate man anymore? And I'm terribly sorry about this. But in order for corporate America to maintain itself as this economic juggernaut and pillar contributing the core of American economy, you need men to work there. You need incentivized men to work there. Women can work there too, but half your population, regrettable as it is as men, and I'm going to say it again, no matter how, we kind of major in the right stuff. You kind of need us a little bit more. We work more hours. So look it up. You have a complaint? Go file it with the Democrat Party. Go file it with the IDAGF department. Well, why do men work? And this is kind of outside the world of corporate. Although in the olden days, you could ask girls out at work. Now that is a huge no-no. And I kind of understand that women don't want to be harassed at work. That you should respect that. So don't bother them. But the only reason men get up and do anything in the morning is because there might be some tail at the end of it. That's it. Now, what have you done with families? What have you done to our women? What have you done to our women? Politically incorrect, I know, but let's just admit it. You ruined from men's interest in this regard. Women have been completely ruined. Everyone is fat and overweight, and the men too. So we're not really, our loins are not girded or incentivized in that regard. You tell us we're the source of all the problems in the world. We're the patriarchy, we're evil. Some of you, you've told us since I was alive you didn't need us. Girls telling men they didn't. Women are not interested in marriage or forming families as much anymore. And you give blatantly obvious preferential treatment to hiring women over men. And men are just like, screw that. I don't want to go marry Lizzo. I don't want to work out, go work hard and do 40, 70-hour work weeks at the corporate office and get my MBA and become a corporate man for Tess Holiday. I'm not working hard for, I'm trying to think who's aside from a fat chick, who's a leftist chick. Any one of the many women who remind me daily I'm not needed. And they're just not showing up. See you, bye. And although men may be wandering in the desert a little bit, they're not going to college, they're not going into corporate America. They sometimes you need to wander in the desert to figure out where you're going to go, because the place you were going to is no longer tenable. Who wants to go to that corporate party anymore? When you're yelled at and accused of not being needed, and girls are going to get preferential treatment. Not these guys. Oh my God, men aren't taking the raw deal anymore. And what they're finding is this thing called frugality, minimalism, and the trades, and self-employment by being part of the 1099 superior race. And because corporate America has become so untenable, so impossible, and blatantly unfair, just a place you do not want to work unless you're going to work there a little bit, no one is hanging their hat there anymore. No one is going to the Knoxville Swing Dance Association swing dance where everyone smells like body odor and patchouli. Not any self-respecting people. And people are starting to find other places to go. And they are. They are. I know several men, geez, shocked, they became tradesmen and now they're making over 6 figures and they're supporting their wife and children at home. Stay-at-home mom is a luxury. Not for tradesmen, it ain't. Of course, the women are traditional and nice and they raise the kids. Crazy idea. And now the new part, and now kind of like, nightclubs died out, going and meeting girls at bars died out. Something will replace it. And the corporate America party is over. And now people are starting to find other things. And maybe there is no party. Maybe there's no centralized location. I mean, my God, look at downtown areas. They're dead, not only because people burn the buildings down, but who wants to work downtown anymore? It's the same thing. People are evolving, they're changing. We're not going to go to the corporate party anymore. We're not going to work on Wall Street. We're not going to work in Silicon Valley. We're moving out to Idaho. We're moving out west. I'm going to do this new thing. I'm going to work from home. And then I'm going to have a family. I'm going to build my house. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm ahead of the game in seeing this. Maybe a lot of people who are younger and more savvy than me already saw it. But this coffin, the corporate zombie keeps wanting to get out of this coffin. I want to put the last couple nails on it. Make sure it never gets out of it again. Corporate America is for losers. Corporate America is a joke. Corporate America is a political Arkham Asylum nightmare where meritocracy has doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. And if you want to have an enjoyable life, do not work for corporate America. For those of you like, I can't believe they're promoting people based on traits and not their ability. They're so racist and sexist. Yes, they are. Let them have it. Oh my God, I can't believe it smells like body odor and patchouli at the dance. Don't attend the dance. Because corporate America is over. I've explained in the past that mostly all corporate America is going to become is brand name management, like Target Corporation. The real work in Target is done by the truck drivers and the stock boys and the people in China who manufacture it. Target is just a playground for rich elitists to hang out with and play patty cake and hire the weird person. Go look her up. It's like, oh wow, aren't you edgy? Okay, I guess I can mutilate my body too, and then I have insight. Let me guess, more white guys' money, huh? Oh, yeah, what a genius you are. I bet you have a master's degree in that. It's over. Do you want to attend a party where people stink and they're ugly? You don't? Then don't go to corporate America. The days of pencil skirts and chicks with heels, maybe they had a garter belt underneath. Maybe no panties either, so you get a little bathroom fun time sex, which never happened, by the way. But you like to dream. You want to be Coach Greg? Well, maybe that did happen at some point in time. Not anymore. Not anymore. And you're not missing anything. And it's a lot kind of like bars and nightclubs. What'd you miss? Not much. It was loud and obnoxious. It wasn't worth it. And it was all show. But now we got the internet. Now the veneer is gone. So don't rue it. The future is self-employment. The future is tradesmen. The future is minimalism. If you got a problem with, I got spending problems. I got a minimalism class on Teachable. Achieving minimalism. Search the Clary School of Economic Philosophy. I had to open it for, what's his name? Ed Lattimore. He wanted to take it. So let me on. I'm like, there you go. So it's open for enrollment if you want right now. But the future is not MBAs and power suits and lunches and power lunches. I'm going to get more training, get my MBA. I'm going to get CPE. Oh, God, the nightmare of CPA. Never again. Never continuing education again. Never again. Oh, you like your lights to work? That'll be $300 to fix it, sweetheart. And I know your music therapy major boyfriend can't fix it, but he can strum an acoustic guitar while I, a real man, will fix it. But you'll give me $300 for that. That's the future. Being sane, being in physical shape, spending time with your family, or enjoying a true work-life balance. That is the future. That is the new nightclub. Corporate America, over. For nerds, and not the cool nerds actually produce them, for losers, for hacks, and for woke SJW people. Let them have it. Because in the end, no matter what the corporation is, they do need to make a profit. Otherwise, the company goes belly up. And you know who they're going to come to do all the real work when, like, okay, you had, out of an 8-hour day, you forced your entire IT department to take 6 hours of diversity and inclusion training. Guess who they hire at the end to make sure the internet works at their company? Contractors, 1099 contractors. You know what you do when you're a contractor? You're like, oh, yeah, that's $300 an hour. Okay. Hey, we have to have you take this diversity and inclusion training. No, you don't. I'm a 1099er, not a W-2 wage slave. F you. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll have to take that. Why? Because we raised a bunch of useless people with worthless degrees and not enough engineers and IT people and tradesmen. That's what I thought, bitch. Now shut the F up and pay me my $300 an hour. You want to become Clint Eastwood in a fistful of dollars, where the hiring families need him as a gunslinger more than the gunslinger needs them. And you can all avoid the nightmare of unnecessary college degrees, crippling levels of debt, and effing psychopathic nightmares of working in corporate careers. Subscribe if you would. Link down below to Bachelor Pad Economics, I think, or How Not to Become a Millennial. Or there's a book down below you should all buy and read. And sign up for that class now, because when Ed comes back to you, he says, like, hey, I'm done. I'm closed for enrollment again. Achieving minimalism. There's another class, Achieving Financial Excellence, which is the minimalism, or not minimalism, it's the practical application or execution of minimalism as the nature of financial excellence or wealth changes. So you could take that there. So let's go through the super chat and subscribe to the channel. I'm almost to 100,000. Big Animations, $7 Canadian. It's great to listen to this while I work. How much for an original again? It's $35 for an original. This guy paid for 10 of them, so that's why I'm going through a lot of these. Maybe I'll go get some food. It's going to be a day where I just stay in. R for $10. What's your take on the controlled demolition of the U.S. economy? Many of these corporate leaders are WEF lackeys. Not sure being a sole proprietor 1099 is a solution. Well, okay. Working for corporate America is not. Look, in being a 1099er with an invaluable skill, you can at least do individual transactions. You don't need permission from whatever, Target Corporation, Chase Manhattan, when somebody next door to you needs their roofing done. You're a roofer, go do their roof. It's so the formal, structured, big corporate economy, it's no longer tenable. It's not. Why would you wouldn't? And you can bypass them by just doing direct business to business transactions with individual clients. And then the time is, look, let's say you put Ocasio-Cortez, what's her name? The Somali chick that hates America, and white women in Minnesota love her because she hates America and voted her in. Nancy Pelosi, and let's throw Joey Biden in there. Not a single one of them have any real world working experience. You put them in charge of company, some real company. I don't know, GM. They're still going to need their email to work. They're still going to need supply chain people. They're still going to need truck drivers. And you know who those are? The 1099ers. You know, we say, yeah, all that money you voted to take away from me. Yeah, I'm taking it back. $1,000 an hour. Maybe not that much, depends on what your skill is. Because in the end, communists got to eat too. Corporate cocksuckers got to have the electricity on. No matter how much these people avoid work, the real work needs to get done. And for whatever amount they took away from you, say, oh, you'd like your toilet to flush. Oh, well, remember how you jacked up my taxes and made me take all this nonsense diversion? And to work for you guys, I would have had to go to college unnecessarily for 7 years at egregiously overpriced, usurious prices. Yeah, so that's $500 for me to fix your toilet bowl there, Mr. MBA man who doesn't know how to use a wrench. So people are going to want to live. People are going to want stuff to get done. And after we're all done playing the corporate MBA-laden game of woke power, yay, foot in on straight, female, no, pansexual, Latinx, amorphous person people in the wheelchairs, yeah. After we do 6 hours a day of that, I don't know, maybe 2 hours of real work's got to get done because you got to make, I don't know, tacos at Taco Bell. So, what would be your solution if not the 1099er? I mean, dentists, right? Not sexy, but no. You'd like the pain to go away in your tooth, and you're too lazy to brush your teeth. All right, well, that's $700. Oh. Tamar Sneer, another female agent in the field, 10 generous dollars. Thank you, Tamar. Mike Moe, $5. Wait, did you have anything else to say, Tamar? No, she just did. $5 from Mike Moe. The days of mom and pop shops is gone, Comrade Cappy. Scary time. They're going to come back. You know why? Maybe not in force, but there's a market for it. You can't get these large corporations to do anything right the first time. You can't. There's going to be a cottage industry, mark my words, of people who just kind of fix things and build things and make things work. It's going to be the make things work people. That could be mechanics. It could be repaired, handymen. Because I got a Whirlpool oven. If for whatever reason the broiler I don't think is working, this thing is less than a year old. I'm like, how is this not working? I got to go find someone to fix it and repair it. I might have to be the one to go fix it and repair it. People are going to need it. It's going to go away from traveling to Ibiza and large, fancy, luxurious things like, I need my house to work. And they're not going to go hire large corporation X to go do their thing. They're going to find some local guy to do it for them. Oh, and if you want to make money here, be on time, produce a good product, and do it on budget. That's it. There's opportunity here, guys. I think this is the future nightclub. This is where the party's going to be. Reliable, sane people who aren't mentally ill about leftist identity politics. Yubagi, $5. I work at a top 5 tech company on the West Coast. I'm the only man my age there, 6 feet tall, fit, and not pepperoni has a face. Women there are weird. How? I mean, don't give me, don't email me. I'd be kind of curious why the women are weird. I don't want to where you work. I don't know. I mean, just some general stuff. But how are the women weird? Are they weird because all the guys are weird? Are they weird because that's the cultural environment on that place on the West Coast? I'm very curious why they're weird. And how are they weird? Generation of Power, $2. Boomer boss is becoming obsolete. Brings me joy. Oh, it's great. And these boomer, they were all lazy. None of them saved up any money for retirement. The number of realtors I see as boomers now, like, dude, and now interest rates are going up. Like, did you save your money this time? You didn't. You got divorced a third time. Oh, tell me more. Jeremiah Humans, $5. This is the theme of Atlas Shrugged, the best and brightest left because the company decided everyone gets the same pay. Where did the workers go? Well, they went to John's Gulch or Galt's Gulch, didn't they? It's not through financial communism that the best are leaving. It's just out of self-respect. Like, I'm not dealing this cultural communism stuff. No offense. I don't wish black ladies anything bad, but you ain't better than me. not because of your plumbing or the melatonin, not melatonin, melanin, whatever chemical it is that gives us different skin. That's the traits you were born with don't make you better or worse than me. But if institutions are going to treat you better than me, I want nothing to do with those institutions. And by God, there better be a lot of black women engineers and computer programmers that are savvy, because that's the only way this is getting saved. The only way the lights are going to be on in the long term is if people who happen to be popular at that time, according to the corporate infrastructure, the political infrastructure, if they are skilled and talented, cool. If you're not, and the only thing you bring to the table is, "She, look out, I'm proud." That's it. That's all you got. Like the joke of a person over at Target Corporation. Oh, are we up shit creek? We are screwed. Everyone is screwed. Because I don't know about you, but I bet everybody, regardless of how you were born, likes electricity and food. Oh. Scrolling. Keep those guys on. Back Health 101. Thank you for $2. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the cash. Cash. Here I am. Look at me. Were you just a podcaster collecting super chats? Yeah, you're right there. You're right there. I do have some skills, though. Had to develop skill. Oh, and by the way, if you think white people are like, oh, good old America and the West and South Dakota, oh, no. No, white people are not coming to save you. They are lazy, incompetent. Everyone, if you are within these United States, you are incompetent, lazy, and stupid. We are so screwed. Jessup in his pickup truck financed at 14%, who doesn't know how to do his job right, that I got to repair it from. They are not coming to save you. Wait, what? Wholesome DJ Aftershock for $5. Dude, bro, you just mad you couldn't make it in corporate America, bro. Dude, I just made senior associate, bro. That means 9 hours at the office instead of 11. I got to look up all the people that graduate from the Carlson School. There's layoffs coming. I'm getting people my agents in the field, like someone I know high up got laid off. What's their background? A joke, like these worthless degrees. I'm like, oh, is the party over now? The money thing? Oh, we're starting to care about profits. Because without the monies, we don't have the electricities or the bills paid to do the thing that we do here called our jobs, huh? Oh, so you finally fired that. Oh, God, project managers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hope they fire HR. I hope HR just goes away. Is that it? Got a lot of super comments here. I just don't want to miss any of the super chats. Boom. All right, there you go. Questions, answers. assholeconsulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.